Hello and welcome back to this series on maths teaching for 4 to 5-year-olds. This episode is on the foundational work that you need to do to ensure that your kids are going to thrive on the teaching of shape, space and measure as they progress through primary school. I'm Rebecca the Maths Lady, here to help you love your maths teaching and make sure every child thrives and does brilliantly at maths. So I've put this episode here because you'll be doing a lot of this work instinctively, naturally anyway in your classroom. So this is a great time of the year, sort of half to 2/3 of the way through the year, to have a look at this episode and just check through it and go, yeah, I haven't done this properly yet and I'm going to plan this and do it really well in the final term. Now, it's tempting to think that this work is all about developing the vocabulary that underpins these topics. And in a way it is, but it's worth thinking a level deeper. What we really want to do is give the children really immersive, complete experiences that are going to mean that they understand the topics, and then the vocabulary will pin itself to those experiences really quickly and they'll learn things really thoroughly. So although I'll be listing vocabulary, always think about those experiences underneath that vocabulary. They're more important than the actual vocabulary itself. In most cases, I'm just going to fly through the topics really quickly. I'm sure you're capable of inventing great tasks for yourself. It's fun and easy to do and nice to do it in a way that you feel is right for your classroom and your children. But I will mention some good and efficient and fun tasks, especially with shape, which comes towards the end of this episode. So first of all, experiences and vocabulary associated with size and distance. You're going to need tasks associated with near and far away, with length, long and short, with height, tall and short, with width, wide and narrow, with thickness, thick and thin, with size, big and small, little and large, and you'll need all your comparative words in there as well. Wherever possible, get kids moving, get them physically experiencing those concepts in the most engaging and fun way possible. But of course you can use craft activities and embed those words into your instructions. You can use sorting activities, stories are great, of course you've got your 3 bears in there, and you can actually reverse the challenge of planning lessons by suggesting the vocabulary and getting the children to tell you what comes to their minds and share and connect their experiences to your classroom. And then there's weight. We need to explore the idea of light and heavy, children's experiences of lifting objects, what's light and what's heavy, before we begin to weigh things and balance things. They'll need to work with balance scales. If you can get some traditional weighing scales, they often come up on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or whatever in junk shops. Pick them up because they're such a great thing for kids to experience, actually weighing with kilogram weights and balancing things. They don't have to fully understand all that, it doesn't matter, but it's just great foundational experiences. Capacity. Children need to fill containers with water and sand. They need to know the vocabulary full and empty and half full. And they also need to do some foundational work on time. Definitely need to talk about times of the day, put their experiences in order so they develop the vocabulary of getting up, morning, noon or midday, lunchtime, afternoon, evening, bedtime, nighttime. Introduce the clock in contexts that they know, talk about the time. They don't need to be able to tell the time yet, but if they become familiar with different times of day and with knowing that the clock is how you tell those times, that's great. You can explore how long things take in seconds and minutes and hours. Plenty of tasks that'll be great fun for that. You can definitely introduce the days of the week through stories like Big Hungry Caterpillar, and through songs. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday, days of the week. And you can explore key dates and times during the year, including seasons, of course. And you can link month names to particular dates that children have a good concept of. And then there's money. And there should be a stage of the year, if you've got a teaching assistant, can they live in the play shop for a while and make sure every child goes shopping, buying things for 1 penny, 2 pennies, 3 pennies, give them a limited amount of money, see what they can get, let them choose, get them that experience of shopping. All great fun. If you haven't got a teaching assistant, might your oldest children in the school be able to come and play shops with some of the youngest ones? Maybe at the end of the year when they're a bit bored or a bit flexible and getting ready to leave school, just get the kids who would really find that interesting and would love to do it, get them in and let them do that. And then there's the vocabulary associated with position: over, under, above, below, beneath, in front of, between, behind, outside, inside, opposite, apart, on top of, beside, at the bottom of, around, on, in, inside. Again, tasks where the children are physically moving, where they give each other directions and they have to choose where they're going to hide. Fantastic. You've got lift the flap books. Where's Spot, of course. And books like Each Peach Pear Plum. If you haven't got that one, it's gorgeous and definitely worth having in your classroom. And so we come to shape. At home, lots of children will have had the chance to play with toys like these. Like jigsaws like this, where you fit shapes in. And they're beautiful because children discover that the triangle fits in 3 ways. And they're laying the foundations for rotational symmetry, but they're really paying attention to the details of those shapes. And then, of course, there are sorting boxes. This is the classic Fisher-Price one, my favourite. And again, children really have to pay attention to the detail of 3-dimensional shapes to make those shapes fit through the slots. And they come to understand the cross-section of prisms. And you don't have to use that vocabulary, but having those experiences matters. So you can get much better jigsaws than these from a lot of educational catalogues. Make sure you've got one in your classroom. Make sure you've got some kind of sorting, posting box, because not all children will have had those experiences and they matter. And those who haven't had it will love that chance to explore those toys. And finally, for this video, my favourite tasks for working with shape and space with children of this age. And it's all about your attributes hoops, your sorting hoops. Have you come across these? These are the 50cm size sorting hoops, which I really recommend at this age. They come like this, so they package nicely, but they open out to become big circles. And I've seen teachers do all sorts of wonderful tasks with these. They're lovely for mini beasts. Can you sort your plastic mini beasts? Hopefully, maybe you might have a few real dead ones in there. I've seen that too. Into mini beasts with 6 legs, mini beasts with 8 legs, mini beasts with no legs, and the rest. Can use them for that kind of thing. But they link beautifully, beautifully back into shape. You can sort your squares, your circles, your different 2-dimensional shapes. And if you've got boxes of 3-dimensional shapes, cones, pyramids, spheres, cubes, cuboids, they can sort those. That's all great. But there's something else that's even better. And again, it's learning resources. You must think I work for them. I don't. They don't even know I'm doing this. But these are fabulous. So these are learning resources attributes blocks. If we open up this box, what you find, if we look at, say, the circles, you can see we've got circles of different colour. We've got large circles and small circles, but we've also got, which you possibly can't see so well unless I show you sideways on, we've got thick circles and thin circles. So, of course, you can get the children to sort the squares, the rectangles, the circles, the triangles and the hexagons from each other in different hoops. But it's a bit dull. They could also sort the different colours, or the large shapes and the small shapes, or the thick shapes and the thin shapes. But frankly, some of them are going to be wandering off pretty quickly. So you take it to a new level. And what you do is you mix up the attributes. So you can say to them, I would like all the triangles in one circle and I would like all the yellow shapes in the other circle. So they work away putting triangles into one of the circles and yellow shapes into this circle. And then, of course, they get stuck with a yellow triangle. Where is that going to go? And with a little bit of prompting and a nudge, they can discover that the yellow triangles go in here, in the centre section. And then all sorts of things begin to happen. Of course, you could try mixing 3 attributes and look what happens when you get a 3-circle Venn diagram with an overlap in the middle. You can talk about the shapes that don't fit in either circle or any of the circles. And not only are you consolidating a lot of your work from this year on attributes of objects and shape and so on at the same time in a really fun and engaging and challenging way, but you're laying the foundations for work on sets, which is a really important component of maths that's much best developed young, so children start to think about organising objects into different sets and how sets overlap. And it doesn't matter if they don't get it right, because you've gone way beyond the curriculum here in a way that will just challenge them to think and lay good foundations for the future. So don't worry at all if they don't come up with perfect solutions. So this has been episode 8, and it's been all about laying the foundations so that when children study shape, space and measure during the rest of primary school, they really know what they're talking about from the very beginning. I'll publish a vocab list in the comments so you can easily copy and paste it if that's of use to you. It won't be fully prescriptive. These things never are. It's a really inexact science. If you want to add more vocab to it, please do so in the comments. If you'd like to suggest activities that you love, please do that in the comments too. The next and last episode of this core series on teaching reception class maths, that's maths to 4 to 5-year-olds, will be about number in the final term, and we'll bring everything together in that episode. And then I'm going to put this over to the real experts, the practitioners in the classrooms, and we'll talk about the ways that they use different styles, their own styles, to develop their teaching in the classroom. Hope to see some excellent examples of continuous provision, some of teacher-led activities, some of outdoor activities. And I'll be moving on to series 2, which will be all about teaching maths in what we call English Year 1, which children start when they are 5. Some of them are still 5 when they finish it, but most are 6. So if you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, comment, share, give us a boost here, and most of all, tell me what you're thinking. Criticise what I'm doing, improve it. This is our conversation away from all the people who tell us what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you some suggestions that I hope will help you make the decisions that you're comfortable with. I'm Rebecca the Maths Lady, here to help you love your maths teaching. Have a great day.